So you know the dude that was shot the other day, right? They are saying that he assaulted the officers and that he drew his weapon at them. I'm not even joking. It's on the news. They're trying to make it seem like he drew his gun at an ICE officer and assaulted them. We are not mad enough. We are not mad enough. We are not mad enough.
Hello everyone, I'm Nobu and welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about ICE and the Black American response. A lot of people ask why aren't Black Americans in the street right now? But before judging, we need to remember history and tell the full story in an honest way.
The last time we saw white people in the streets with the same level of hate and rage that we think we should be seeing now is when they were fighting segregation. Somebody had to say it. Argue with your mama. So, do y'all remember how Black Lives Matter protests were being talked about? Not discussed, but talked about. Riots, chaos, violence, animals. They were calling us animals. Every news segment looked like the apocalypse. One trash can on fire and suddenly the whole movement was criminal. It didn't matter that millions of people were marching peacefully. It didn't matter that we were begging for accountability. We were begging these people for accountability. All that mattered was how fast can we shut this shit down? Now, look at how they're covering these No Kings protests and the ICE protests. And be serious for a second, because they out here throwing snowballs. Snowballs. They're laughing, they're bundled up, cosplaying rebellion. Meanwhile, in the same cities, their neighbors are getting slammed into walls, grabbed in front of their kids, kidnapped off the streets. And the coverage, what's that looking like? Emotions are running high, right? The people feel unheard. Concerns about government overreach. Concerns. And that's when it clicks. Black people protest, and the question is, how do we control them? When white people protest, the question is, how do we listen to them? Same streets, same disruption, wildly different tone. Now, back to when we saw white Americans as angry as they should be now. That was rage. That was mobs that we saw. That was screaming at kids walking into schools. That was violence wrapped in concern. And even then, it wasn't framed as extremism. It was framed as fear, as loss, as people struggling with change. Sound familiar? So when I see snowballs getting thrown while families are getting ripped apart, while they're attacking a car with kids inside, a Black family's car with a baby inside, I don't think the media suddenly learned nuance. I think the empathy shows up when the protest looks like you, when the anger feels familiar, when the faces feel safe, when the rage doesn't threaten the hierarchy. It just asks for a better seat in it. BLM was treated like a threat to the country. These protests get treated like a disagreement with management. One gets militarized, the other gets moderated. So no, this isn't about peaceful versus violent. This is about permission. Who's allowed to be angry without being criminalized? Who gets grace while others get cuffs? Who can throw snowballs while somebody else gets body slammed into a wall just for existing? And that, white America, that is why people are mad. Not because we don't understand what's happening, but because we understand it perfectly. Stop asking us what to do. Channel your ancestors.
The last time we saw white people flooding the streets, it wasn't because Black Americans told them to, it was because they were mad enough. Black Americans have marched, protested and organized for generations, often for issues that directly affected our life, safety and future. We didn't do this for attention, we did it because we had no choice. When it comes to ICE immigration, many Black Americans care about fairness and human rights. But here's the truth. You can't expect one group to fight every battle while their own struggles and are still ignored. Being mad enough means standing up for your own communities too, not waiting for Black Americans to lead every movement.
A lot of people think that African Americans are asleep at the wheel when it comes to ICE. And it's like, no, it's just that we've always been fighting against this. So it's like, it's not brand spanking new news for us. It's like the police have been killing us since like the end of Reconstruction, you know, like the police have been targeting us, attacking us through Jim Crow, civil rights movement, into the current movement that we're in right now, it's always just been a constant thing. And I think it's like white people are just starting to realize that this stuff like kind of affects them, like the overreaching of the government and the overreaching of the police and things of that nature. It's starting to affect them. So now they're all just like, oh my God. But it's just like, okay, it's Tuesday. Like for a black person, I'm like, yeah, the police and the government are always overreaching. The police and the government are always doing things that are wrong for the people. So it's not brand news to us, you know?
At least one federal agent shot and killed 37-year-old Alex Preddy in Minneapolis on Saturday, the second person federal agents have killed in the city in less than 3 weeks. Preddy was a nurse in the intensive care unit at the Minneapolis VA hospital. Homeland Security officials said Border Patrol agents acted defensively because Preddy approached them with a handgun.
The agents attempted to disarm the individual, but he violently resisted.
Preddy was licensed to carry a firearm, local officials said. But one of the videos of the incident analyzed by NBC News shows federal agents removed Preddy's gun before the first shots were fired. None of the videos show Preddy holding his gun at any point. Here's how the incident unfolded. A bystander on the sidewalk approaches and films the escalating confrontation between Border Patrol agents and protesters, filming them in the street. Here, we see an agent shoving another protester to the ground. Preddy puts himself between the agent and the protester and is sprayed with a chemical irritant. Preddy tries to assist the protester and is sprayed again. Here we can see Preddy put his phone in his pocket. Agents try to pull him away, but he resists as he continues to try to help the protester to their feet. 2 additional bystanders film as 5 agents begin to swarm Preddy. One bystander films in the street, another from inside a shop across the street.
They are kicking them in the face!
As Preddy is forced to the ground, we can see both of his hands. He is not holding a firearm. An agent in a gray jacket is circling the perimeter as agents restrain Preddy. The gray jacket agent joins the scuffle. We can see him reaching around Preddy's waist and underneath his jacket. Seconds before the shooting, an agent is striking Preddy. At that moment, we get another glimpse of Preddy's hands. There's still no gun. From this other angle, we get a clearer look at the final seconds before Preddy is killed. This agent in the black beanie who shoots Preddy is recapping his pepper spray. Someone yells, "Gun," and he immediately draws his firearm. No other agents can be seen pointing a gun at Preddy. While this is happening, the gray jacket agent has removed Preddy's gun and started to walk away. Preddy is kneeling with nothing in his hands when the agent in the black beanie fires. Ten shots are heard in the video as the gray jacket agent retreats, holding Preddy's gun. It appears similar to the gun in a picture later shared by federal officials. A nearby driver films the immediate aftermath of the shooting from her car. As the gray jacket agent walks back towards Preddy, voices can be heard talking about Preddy's gun.
Oh, come back! I got the gun!
Agents kneel next to Preddy, appearing to administer aid. According to officials, Preddy was announced dead on the scene.
They just shot somebody.
Forget about just the lack of representation. Why does it feel like our government hates us so much that they're constantly trying to actively hurt us? Not just with ICE, not just with the fucking big beautiful bill and all the shit that they do, not with the Israelification of all of the fucking media and taking over TikTok and saying, oh, actually we own all your shit. And not only are we going to not pay you for your shit, we're going to own your shit and then we're going to sell it to other people and you're not going to get any money from it. It's like, no, they literally hate us. The government is constantly being like, how can we show them we hate them the most? Our government is literally actively hostile to us. And the thing is too, is that not only are they ruining everything about this app, we're not even going to be able to see what happens in foreign countries anymore. Okay? Not Gaza, not Italy. Apparently there's some amazing protests happening in Italy. Can't see it. The shutdown that's happening right now in Minnesota, can't see it. I'm not seeing any of that. All I'm seeing is fucking TikTok shop. And what gets me every time is how little people care. Like how little people, everyday fucking people just walk through life not giving a
Y'all ain't mad enough. Especially white folks. You know how I know? Because they just killed another unarmed white person in broad daylight. That person wasn't blocking traffic. He wasn't in a vehicle. He wasn't threatening officers. Matter of fact, he was just standing off to the side, filming, as he is allowed to do as an American citizen. And not one, not two, but 6 agents walked over to him, beat him, and shot him at least 10 times. Broad daylight. Y'all ain't mad enough. And maybe it's shock. Maybe a lot of y'all are shocked that it got this bad this quickly. Maybe a lot of y'all are shocked that the game y'all played in November turned out like this. Maybe a lot of y'all are shocked that y'all have to fight an enemy that looks like you. Because in this country, y'all have been told historically that only black and brown people are the problem. You only have to look out for black and brown people, and you're finding out the hard way that that couldn't be further from the truth. Maybe y'all don't know how to fight an enemy that looks like you. And I ain't talking about getting violent, because you can't give them that. They want the violence, because if you give them the violence, then that means they don't have to govern. There's a way to fight this. If your elected officials are comfortable, you're not mad enough. If your elected officials keep lying to your fucking faces and won't do a damn thing to protect you, even though that's the job you gave them, you are not mad enough. This revolution will not be convenient. No revolution has ever been convenient for the people that had to start it. You won't be able to hashtag your way out of this. You won't be able to wear a t-shirt every other weekend. You got to be boots to the ground. You ain't getting black people in these streets. Not these streets. We will be easier targets. You should be fighting with your money. If you still giving these corporations your money, you not mad enough. If you still going out to social and sporting events, going about your everyday life, going into work like, oh yeah, just blow over, you ain't mad enough. The only way we fix this is to acknowledge why it's happening. This is happening at the hands of a system that a lot of y'all have benefited from. That doesn't mean that I don't have sympathy for white people that are fighting this. I feel bad for the Renee Goods, and I feel bad for this man that lost his life. I feel bad for their families. I feel bad for any person that is fighting for a better society. But this is a fight that y'all have to fight because it started by a system that y'all helped create and that a lot of y'all have benefited from. Y'all ain't mad enough. And until y'all get mad enough, until y'all figure out the way to fight this and make your voices heard and be willing to be inconvenient, it will get worse. And lastly, to the people out there, I'm talking about all people, all the content creators, a lot of y'all I know that won't say a goddamn thing about any of this, trust and know this. Eventually, it will get to a point to where you won't be able to ignore this. Know that.
Watch this.
You all need to be arming yourselves right now. You all need to learn how to shoot guns. You all need to learn how to protect yourselves. You guys need to learn what to do in a situation where you get detained and how to help your friends when they are getting detained. You all need to become aware of what's happening right now and how there is no protesting this without some sort of militant action.
I don't just say that white people are not mad enough without data. Because see, history has proven that when white people get mad, shit moves. I mean, things get serious when white people get mad. Mad at the king, start a whole new country in a war. We're so mad about the way we're being treated, we're gonna go over there and we're going to sow disease into the inhabitants of a land that is not ours, and then we're going to call it our own. We're so angry that even though we have no real resources, we don't need resources, because guess what? We're going to go steal bodies from this other land and bring it to this one, so those people who come from a land full of resources will go ahead and build an entire society for us, one that we will rob them of. And when they do dare to be successful after being enslaved, after being legally oppressed, anytime they build something, let's say it's Tulsa, or let's say it is Greenwood, or it is any of the other times that black people, brown people have taken their resilience and resistance and turned it into something that they could stand on with their own 2 feet. That enraged white folks so much that they built organizations and systems and weapons to kill, destroy. Anytime the people got angry enough and tried to rise up and presented leaders like MLK, like Malcolm X, not only were those leaders assassinated by the anger of whiteness. And see, white anger doesn't even have to look like violence or vitriol. It just simply is violent because it is whiteness. And you're telling me that you people, in all that you can think to do, as this man dismantles and literally demolishes the White House, literally strips you of your free speech. So much so that white people are being fired from their jobs for speaking the truth. And all y'all can do is carry some fucking signs in the street. You're not mad enough because you unalived my people for less.
Black Americans are not heartless, they are not silent, and they are not responsible for fixing everything alone. Real change happens when everyone shows up, speaks up, and takes responsibility for their own fight. If you want justice, be mad enough to stand for it yourself. If this is your first time coming across my video, like this video, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.